off the Curious Climate Tasmania project. We put a call out with the ABC to ask people in Tasmania what did they want to know about climate change. Any question at all, big or small. So now we've got a team of scientists together and we're roving around the state, coming to answer those questions.
Welcome to Queenstown!
Curious Climate Tasmania is all about cutting out the middleman, stripping off the white coats and letting you guys ask the questions of the scientists. So that's really what it's all about.
Instead of us just telling you what we want to tell you, let's find out what your questions actually are and then we'll try and address some of those.
Thanks everyone for coming, great to be here. So this idea of global warming, this idea of greenhouse effect, it's been around for a long time.
We can spray seawater near to the ocean and that will create clouds. These are technologies that scientists have been thinking about, and this is known as geoengineering or climate engineering.
So I haven't been to Queenstown for years. I've always been a little bit interested though because my dad worked out in the mines here. Had quite a few interesting questions and a little bit of heckling. People rocked up and they listened, and I'm really pleased we were able to put a team together to come out and talk climate change. And this one, I think it's really important that we try and move beyond left and right. So I think climate change shouldn't make us feel like we've got to swap, who we vote for or change our political leaning. It should be more a case of all of us trying to encourage whomever it is that we want to vote for, whatever party that might be, that all of them have got to raise the bar.
As we grow a forest, we take up carbon dioxide out of the atmosphere, we store that in wood. Some of the things that have been suggested here in this space, as I said, is our forest, reforestation. We know this, we grow forests, we do this well.
Some of the people who doubt the reality of climate change are true skeptics. More of them are deniers, and I think quite a few of them are just contrarians to it.
So now we're going to St Helens. We've got about 80 people booked in, so it'll be interesting to see how many people turn up. St Helens was really interested in more agriculture and fisheries ecosystem type questions, so it was a lot of different presentations that we put together for the East Coast. It's a smaller place obviously than Launceston, so it'll be really interesting to see who turns up.
Very few people in the world are investing in coal. All the money is in renewables at this point in time. So I think there's a lot of hope for renewables. The real issue from a climate change perspective is how fast and whether that's fast enough.
It was good, really good. It's interesting. There's a lot of different things that I didn't know about.
I just think it's important to provide as many opportunities as possible for people to be well informed about things.
Great to have the opportunity in a small town like St Helens to have this come here.
Here we are on our way back to Hobart after last night's Curious Climate St Helens. The Bayside Inn last night, it was pumping, packed, 90 people pre-booked, and I think we had a few more squeeze in after, had to put out a few more chairs there. It was great to see the real enthusiasm and engagement from the audience. They wanted to know the answers to the questions we were giving them, and they're really interested to ask questions afterwards. So I've just pulled up outside the Stanley Burberry Theatre in Hobart. This is the very last Curious Climate event for the week. I've had such fun road tripping around the state. Who doesn't love a road trip, right? It's been awesome. It's fantastic to meet so many different people, people from Queenstown, from Launceston, St Helens, and I'm sure we'll meet some great people here tonight. Fantastic that we could answer some questions that the public really wanted to know. I've learnt a lot on this road trip as well, so I'm constantly amazed at how much knowledge we have here in Tasmania, the breadth of the research going on, and climate change is such a complex issue that there's no one scientist that can know all of that. So every time I go to a talk and I hear somebody else talking about climate change, I'm learning things too. And I've certainly really appreciated that about the Curious Climate Project.
We want this to be an engaging forum. There will be opportunities for people to ask questions.
is that we don't need a few people doing all of those things perfectly. What we need is all of us having a go, doing what we have the capacity to do, and probably doing that imperfectly, but it's a numbers game.
It's actually only 8% of the Australian population who don't believe in climate change.
Climate change is a pretty challenging issue, and if we don't change what we do as a global society, it does have a very negative outcome. But things like the youth climate movement and all the young people around the world that are really crying out for action on climate change, and then things like 300 people coming out in Hobart to learn more about climate change, that does give me a bit of hope.
Thank you very much for coming out tonight. It's been wonderful to see so many people here.